Hello, Quint. Oh yeah, you're gonna see some. You're definitely gonna see some janky ass Lisp wannabe surrogate. That is for sure. No worries. So these are all the things that I'm gonna look into today. I don't know how long they'll take. I have no idea how much progress I'm gonna make, but I'll make some. Okay, let me go get some tea. Okay, I'm back. So let me introduce myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Loris Crow. I'm VP of Community at the Objective-C Foundation. Objective-C is a systems programming language. Actually, I should say Objective-C is a lower level programming language, but it is a general purpose programming language for writing C code that LARPs Lisp. I don't know. You know what? I just can't hate Objective-C. I mean, I can't love it. I just cannot love it. I also can't hate it. It's funny. It's funny. I think it made sense. Like I think that historically when it came out, it was a cool thing. And the fact that I can still use it today and the tool chain still works with it, and I can do interoperability with Zig. It's like, in that sense, it's better than Swift. Like, if this was fucking Swift, man, I would have to open Xcode, and like, that's game over. The moment you have to open Xcode, you failed. Like, mission failed. Dun 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 dun. So, I don't know. I respect Objective-C. That's gonna be my take. So, what are we doing today? We are doing all kinds macOS. So I was messing around yesterday with packet priority, UDP packet priority. I couldn't figure out why the function wouldn't work on Mac, or rather why it wouldn't work. I was not able to test it on Linux because my Linux virtual machine network stuff was not working after the upgrade, and then I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So, or rather, no, we maybe figured it out, but then I didn't do it. So we never saw that code work. But I discovered what the problem was. It was just me being dumb. I was using std OS Linux constants also for macOS, while for macOS I should have used std.c constants. And at the same time, it turns out that we have some constants that are missing. More specifically, we would like to have std-c iptos for macOS, but for some reason this stuff is turned off for Darwin. I don't know why. There is a Darwin definition in here, but it's private, so you can't even access it. So like if I go in C, Darwin is here, but it's private because you're not supposed to use that, right? You're supposed to go in here, and this does the dispatching for you. The problem is whoever wrote this code fucking hates macOS, I guess, or well, they didn't think about macOS because they did all the other OSs, including Serenity. But they forgot to wire in Darwin. So I just hardcoded the values for now. In any case, once I fix this stupidity, everything worked out fine. So Linux uses Linux, and on macOS, this is available. This stuff is missing. What else? Yeah, that was mostly. Oh no, and also related to this, we were also using Linux constants on Windows. I mean, Windows right now, who cares? It's broken in so many other ways. Like there's still to do's in std.io, but yeah, I also got the opportunity to write down the right constants also for Windows. So now this stuff is fine. So so once this was done, I was able to test. I did a call using a remote server, and it went really well. The network stuff right now seems flawless to me. It's not perfect in the sense that there are two major. Let me see. Two? Yeah, there are two major features that serious implementations have that we currently just do not have. One is the ability to resend packets. Right now, a packet lost is lost, period. There is no chance of resending it. And I do think that realistically, it would be possible to have resending work depending on the ping that you have with the server. Like if your ping with the server is not too high, you should be able to do um, to ask the server to resend you a packet. I'll give you an example. If you have a 20 millisecond ping with the server, actually, let's do extremes. If you had a 0 or 1 millisecond ping with the server, you should totally re-ask for missing packets. If you have 20 to 40, also probably not a bad idea. Well, I mean, 40, I don't know. 20, yeah. 20, definitely you should ask. 40 milliseconds, that depends. This is why that is the cutoff. That is the cutoff because it depends, and it ties, I guess, to the next feature that we don't have, which is the jitter buffer number of packets that we keep in the buffer before giving them to the audio card. So you can only, it's only worth asking for a packet that you will receive hopefully in time. There's no point in asking if you have a 200 millisecond ping with the server, and then it's gonna take, I don't know, forever for your packet to reach the server and come back. So there's that to keep in mind. But related to this, also, what is the right number of packets to keep in the buffer? And the answer is that this number right now, it's hard coded at 8 temporarily. I was aiming for 4 or 5 packets ideally, but in reality, the right number should not be a constant. The right number should be estimated by how the call goes. So, like during the call, you try to keep track of when a packet was supposed to arrive, see how much jitter you have, how much variability you have compared to perfect timing, and then you use that to estimate how much buffer you have. And the thing is, these should change dynamically during the call. And I think that normal VoIP implementations do this in a horrendous way because they are under the assumption that you should have a constant audio stream. But the application that we're going for, like the design of Awebo, makes these significantly easier for us. So I'm not working on this right now because it's not critical. But this is going to be something that is going to be so nice, I suspect, to implement. And we're going to do in 5 lines of Zig what probably takes Google, I don't know, at least 200,000. No, I'm exaggerating. At least, I don't know, 10,000 lines of C++ code to Google in WebRTC. That is my suspicion. But because we're going for a more specialized, less tied to the history of VoIP approach to this. And maybe I'm wrong. You know what? Maybe my thing will be too simplistic, and it only behaves well in networks that are well behaved enough. So there's actually, you know what? I would not be surprised at all if a lot of the complexity that the WebRTC implementation has is also to kinda survive horribly mangled networks. We're not gonna have that, at least not in the near future. But we're gonna have, for networks that are good enough, I suspect, like close to optimal behavior very easily. And in any case, the call that I did yesterday through a real server, etc., great experience. At that point, the bottleneck was actually this. It's the fact that I was using, oh, look what I have today. This is going to be my partner for today's session, a pair of AirPods. Why? Because these fucking Bluetooth headphones completely mess up our audio handling code. And these are the well-behaved ones. You also have, non-Apple hardware that Apple hardware, namely your laptop, doesn't like as much. Apple hardware, like your Mac Mini, your MacBook, whatever, it likes these guys. It doesn't like as much non-Apple hardware. So I think so what we're going to do is things that I think are going to fix completely the issues that I've been having with Bluetooth. And at the same time, we're going to use that as an opportunity to just polish the whole implementation a little bit more with regards to things that I've been ignoring, which are critical. For example, listening to hardware changes. You have to listen to hardware changes because these guys connect, disconnect, do whatever the fuck they want all the time. Like the moment you take your headphones off, the device disconnects, and or rather, it doesn't fully disconnects, but it turns off and it tells the Mac to go on speakers. And so at that point, it's time for you to switch to speakers, which is fun. By the way, this I tested yesterday and it was causing all kinds of trouble. Then what else? There's the thing that these Apple devices connect to multiple, like these headphones connect to multiple computers all at once. So I wanted to use this with my laptop, but they would try and connect to my Mac Mini for some reason, and then audio. I had to test audio. I had to turn Bluetooth off on this device because otherwise, Awebo would just straight up fail to turn on audio every single time, even though I was not using those on this computer. But the computer was vaguely aware that they existed, and so I decided to fuck everything up. Then what else? Another thing that I noticed, which I noticed multiple times with real world tests, is that this happened during Zig days. During Zig days, I've done demos of Awebo, but you're trying to show this stuff to multiple people. You're not like very well set up with like everybody with their headphones and whatnot. So we were using speakers, and that causes audio feedback a lot. Obviously, right? Like you cannot expect audio feedback to not happen unless you do something about it. So there's a series of things called there are a series of things for voice processing that allows these are built-in things that allow the Mac to basically silence the microphone whenever audio is playing from the speakers, and it's all integrated, so you don't have to do much work yourself, but you have to opt into the feature at the very least. So what is my point then? My point is that we have to write a bunch of Objective-C today. So welcome to the Objective-C stream. Objective-C stream. Yeah. So if you have any questions about Objective-C, feel free to ask. My name is Lawrence Crow. I'm VP of Community at the Objective-C Foundation, and let's do some Objective-C. Our adventure. So here's the starting point. Oh, I'll add just one last thing. Another thing that I noticed is that how do I support this Lisp Foundation? Thank you for asking. The answer is buy more Apple hardware, and the moment it is slightly deprecated, just upgrade it to the new version. That is the best way of supporting us. Thank you. Also, new iPhone every year, right? So at the very least, make sure to get a new iPhone every year. So I'm happy. Thanks for the sustainable answer. No problem. So when I started this work, I knew nothing about Objective-C. I literally knew nothing. I learned at some point that the square brackets were function calls. I didn't know this. Which, by the way, this is so funny because I've observed vaguely Objective-C code also in the past, and I never fucking understood what the square brackets were for. And I mean, in my defense, I didn't bother too hard, so I guess I'm dumb, but not too dumb. But in any case, I learned all this stuff on the fly, and I started with code that was suggested by Claude because I didn't even know what APIs were available on macOS. And searching for this information on the internet is brutal. Like one thing that I will say, while I'm not in love with LLMs, one thing that I will say is that if you think that you're superior because you don't ask the LLM, but you Google the answer, you're not. If you land on Stack Overflow, you're getting shit information anyway. So like you are right in feeling superior if you have access to well structured and comprehensive documentation, and that's not what Apple has for this stuff. Hey Toggle, thank you for the raid. Hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello everybody. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Loris Crow. I am VP of Community at the Objective-C Foundation. Today we're gonna do. Never mind this stuff. Today we're gonna work on Objective-C. If you don't know, Objective-C is a general-purpose, lower-level programming language designed to write C code that LARPs Lisp. And so today we're going to do a lot of Objective-C. And if you have any questions about how to get more Objective-C in your daily life, feel free to ask me. Thank you. Somebody was asking earlier, how do you support the Objective-C Foundation? You can support the Objective-C Foundation by buying more Apple hardware. So every year, for example, when the new iPhone comes out, please buy the new iPhone. That will support us. Thank you very much. Same, you know, everything else that you have from Apple that it becomes slightly deprecated, just buy the new one right away, immediately. Extra points if you queue up in front of the Apple Store, you know, the day of the launch. Thank you, Toggle. See you. Buy Digma. Yeah, there is a TUI. We have a TUI client that is being worked on by Neurosite, but it's not going to be anathema based. That being said, there is a core client implementation that is GUI UI agnostic. So I think it would be definitely possible for a anathema based client to be made. I cannot vouch to, you know, the exact quality of the development experience if you go down that path. I mean, I don't think it would be terrible. I just don't know precisely how good it would be, because you would have to jump in between, you know, Zig and Rust, and so that means that you need to put a CABI in the middle. So you would have to do some. You would have to write a little bit of wrapping code that is annoying, but I think that's the full extent of the annoyance. If I have the newest Android, do I also need to buy the latest iPhone? Well, if you do want to support the Objective-C Foundation, yes, you should have never bought the Android phone in the first place, in my opinion. Like every second that you spend giving engagement to a device that is not made by Apple is essentially wasted engagement. Yeah. So I was saying to people that I tested Awebo yesterday on a call over the internet. And with the latest changes that I made, I introduced a jitter buffer and I added some more sophistication with regards to network latency. And the experience was really, really, really good. But now the bottleneck is Bluetooth headphones, because the code that I have written in Objective-C that deals with audio devices just does not play well with certain situations, especially audio Bluetooth-based devices, because, you know, audio over Bluetooth is messy, complicated. Thankfully, I don't have to touch it real close, not at all. But I think I made some structural mistakes. For example, the issues that MATLAB experienced, I don't know for sure, but I believe I know how to fix them. So I'll need to try this out. So I'm gonna make the change now, and then we're gonna see at some point if his stuff gets fixed. But I have AirPods with me, and these guys are also Bluetooth, and these guys also today mess up Awebo. Not in the same way as his headphones. His headphones had a even weirder failure mode, but these guys also sometimes don't work well. So we're gonna fix this. And here is my list of all the things I'm gonna work on today. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish the entire task list, but these are the next things in the pipeline, regardless. Which is, roughly speaking, doing all the things to make our OS integration more sophisticated. There's even this thing called AV Audio Routing Arbiter, which I want to integrate with. Check this out. Oh, come on. AV Audio Routing Arbiter. So check this guy. An object for configuring macOS apps to participate in AirPods automatic switching. AirPods automatic switching is a feature of Apple operating systems that intelligently connects wireless headphones to the most appropriate audio device in a multi-device environment. For example, if a user plays a movie on iPad and then locks the device and starts playing music on an iPhone, the system automatically switches the source audio device from iPad to iPhone. This is actually a genuinely cool feature of the Apple ecosystem. So like you put these headphones on and it automatically connects to it. Well, it connects to all devices at once, and then it grabs audio from the right one, from the appropriate one. So there's no thing of, oh, now I have to switch the device that it's connected to. Oh, I want to play on my PC, so now I have to go into the Bluetooth menu, connect to the Bluetooth headphones. Now I want to use my phone, I have to do the same and ping pong back and forth. No, you don't have to do any of that. This does automatically. This does everything automatically, and but on the other hand, you I guess you have to integrate with this thing here if you want your application to properly trigger this behavior in an appropriate manner. So this is also on the list of things they want to integrate with. But first, we have to do some more basic work. So when I started this stuff, I didn't know Objective-C, and I didn't know, I didn't even know what audio APIs macOS offered. And so I asked an LLM, because you can Google, but Googling is essentially asking an LLM. It's essentially worse than asking an LLM nowadays. So I just asked the LLM, which gave me, in my opinion, in hindsight, it gave me a good recommendation. It told me to use AV Audio Engine. That was a good, actually, it didn't exactly say that. It suggested a few alternatives. And then in one answer, it kind of defaulted to Audio Engine. In other ones, there's another thing called Audio Queue, which is a higher level API. And it wasn't immediately clear what would be the right one. Actually, at some point, I considered, I attempted rewriting everything here in using AV Audio Queue, but it didn't work out because it's just too high level. So this is the right API, but it also gave me code samples that were good enough to get me started. Like it got me with to capture to a point where I was able to capture microphone input and I was able to play out some noise. So that was good. But in general, it gave me awful advice. So this whole thing is not architected correctly. More specifically, it suggested to have one audio engine for capturing the microphone and one audio engine for playing audio back. That is not entirely insane, because you have to keep in mind, in an application of this kind, your microphone doesn't go to your headphones. Your microphone goes to software, then network, and then it's sent to other people. And then what you get from your headphones is audio that comes from the network that you collect. So essentially, you have two separate graphs. You have a graph that connects your microphone input to this is a small technicality. I'll get to that once we get to the code. But you have your microphone that connects to a mixer node, and then the mixer node connects to a sync node. And then separate, like disconnected from this tiny graph, you have you have some sources that represent network streams, and then each one of those is connected to the main mixer of the audio engine, and then that is connected to the output node, which is your headphones or your speakers. So these two graphs don't really it doesn't connect to a single graph unless you do this. There is one point where you do want a fully connected graph, and this is it. Once we compile. And this is it. When you go into settings and you want to start the self test, the like you want to hear your own audio. Also, yes, I still have this bug that the volume, like the voice intensity thing. First of all, it doesn't fill it to 100%, and I don't fucking know why. But then, second, it keeps pushing the way out. So this was not solved. Anyway, actually, I think that David solved it. I just didn't pull the change myself yet. In any case, um, so this is a moment where you want to connect your microphone to your speaker to your headphones, but it's just a temporary connection. So the AI suggested to use two the separate engines, and I went along with it. And it turns out that that is not a good idea, because in one audio engine you can have disconnected graphs. It's totally fine, and not only it is totally fine, but it is preferable because um, um, for example, one reason why Bluetooth devices don't work well is because for them, the microphone and the playback are deeply connected, deeply intertwined, right? Because they change mode depending whether you're using the microphone or not, that kind of stuff. So, what I was doing with this design is that I was trying to connect one end of the Bluetooth device to one engine and the other end to another engine. And that was causing all kinds of trouble because they were trying to configure the microphone and the headphone side independently. But in Bluetooth devices, you kind of can't. They are like one thing that operates all together. Lastly, there's another problem where one engine has one clock, and if you want audio processing, voice processing to work, mainly I'm talking about the automated thing where if audio is playing from speakers, you want the microphone to turn off. That thing works. It requires the timing, the clock in the microphone and the clock of audio samples that go to speakers to be perfectly in sync, because it will use the audio data. It will look at what's in the sample buffer for the speakers to decide if the microphone should be ducked or not, like muted or not, soft muted in a sense. And yeah, if those things are out of sync, then I don't know, either it doesn't work or you have to do manual work to keep it in sync. So, or sometimes it's in sync, sometimes it's not. So you don't even freaking know. So long story short, one engine is the right move. Hello, Temporus. Yeah, you've been deposited at the door of the Objective-C Foundation. I'm Loris Crow. I'm VP of Community at the Objective-C Foundation, and we're going to do Objective-C today. Objective-C is a lower level programming language for writing software, period. Well, tough luck. You're like the protagonist of the new Deus Ex. You're in it. You never asked for it, but you're in it. You're in the worst Deus Ex, and there's nothing you can do. Okay. So that means that we are going to keep around our formats: stereo form, mono format, stereo format. We're going to stop having all these engines. Like, look how many engines I collected. We have 3 engines now. We're just going to have one, and it's just going to be called engine. Then we're going to have a capture sync node. Yes. We're not going to have a main source node anymore. We're going to have a capture mixer node. Yes. There's going to be more. There's going to be more things. But for now, this is going to be fine. So Wait, I just noticed implementation audio engine manager and then end. Why are we not implementing audio engine manager? Shouldn't this end be like at the end or something like that? Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind. You can go back. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh no, I think these errors. Wait, they're not about this. These errors is because I broke everything. Okay, fine. Um. Okay, so AV Audio Engine Manager init. Yes. Uh. So hello C3PO. Let's see. We're creating an audio manager. We create the formats. There's only one engine that we create. These guys don't get created. This goes down. I'm going to keep the same order as here. Then there's a capture sync node and a capture mixer node. I think these bad boys should be created right away, regardless. So capture start here creates the mixer node, then assigns it to capture mixer node, but we don't do this. Or yeah, you come with me. We do this here. And actually we do it the right way. So manager.capture capture mixer node. There we go. Not Objective-C. Oh yeah, sorry. Today is gonna be a whole day of Objective-C, and you are going to like it. Okay. I need to improve. I'll give a quick recap, like very quick. So, long story short, yesterday I tried Awebo over the network, and with the latest changes to the jitter buffer and the network code, the result was stellar. Like the experience was straight up the experience that you get from mainstream voice applications. Right now, the bottleneck is that Bluetooth devices don't work well, and in general, I realized that like there's a lot of things that I haven't done correctly. For example, asking for permission to access the microphone the first time instead of just trying and failing, and then you have to restart the application. So there's some polish that I'm missing, and also the way I'm using audio engines is wrong. So I need to fix my usage of Apple audio engines, and I think that that will fix Bluetooth. So I also have here these headphones that I have them here precisely. So after we're done with this, I'm gonna try them out and see if they work well and what happens whenever I like take them off, put them on. Like whenever you take off your Apple headphones, stuff happens with the audio devices. So we're gonna have to basically make sure that we have all the life cycle management done correctly, including this gonna be also gonna be a big thing. Listening to hardware changes, because you know if you unplug the thing that you're playing from, what should happen? That is the question. So we should basically do all these things. Anyway, stereo format, mono format, engine, capture, mixer node. Then we need a capture sync node. So let's go find the sync node. Oh, I think it was done here. So when you create a sync node, yeah, you don't have to do much. You do have to pass it a callback. And where are we passing? Oh, we were passing user data here. Yeah, I think this is fine. How's the Zig to Objective-C interrupt? Just goes through C? Precisely. I mean, Objective-C is already mostly C. So it's not that bad. This is the capture sync node. We're missing user data. Technically, that is something that we could set. We could do manager.userdata. Let me think about it for a second. Okay, let's assume that it gets passed in. We'll see. Okay, so with this, I have initialized everything. Although, you know what, to be fair, this is, this is fine. Okay. Is this a was as in WASI web? This is a native app. It's a multi-platform native app. WASM, yeah. It's a native application. We could compile it to WebAssembly. The plan right now is to compile it to WebAssembly to get the web client. We'll see. When they're planning to release the complete version of Zig, the complete version of Zig? You mean version 1? Version 1 is 5 years from now. Okay. Uh, I'm not so sure about this. You know what? I'm gonna have a separate function. I'm gonna add a separate function. I'm gonna call it void av audio engine manager prepare. I'm gonna call it prepare. I think we might benefit from this. You know what? Fuck it. Okay, no, never mind. We're gonna do this if we need it. Otherwise, we'll go for the simplest thing for now. Okay, so here then it's just engine stop. Then set engine device. That's a local callback that we use for some stuff. I'm thinking they should go near the bottom. Oh, this commented out code we can now definitely kill. Well, you compute the format in audio playback, force add and then force mono format at the end of the function. I can take a look. That function is probably not going to change much. So you compute the format. So the idea is you're adding a source. This is a network source essentially. So it's an audio stream that coming from the network. Then the question is this going to be an audio stream from a microphone, from somebody's microphone, or is this going to be an audio playback from somebody's screen share? If it's from a screen share, then it's going to be stereo. If it's from a microphone, then it's going to be mono. So this is why we have this concept here. Then source is going to be whatever format. And then we connect it to the main mixer node. And you're right, that's totally a bug. 100%. Thank you. The reason why this was not important, or like we didn't encounter this bug yet, is because we only use mono sources right now because we don't have screen share working over the network. So that's why it was not manifesting itself. But yeah, totally a bug. Thank you. Yep. Good catch. Okay. So we have everything in there. Then capture start. We need to have capture start because we don't want to capture 24/7. My laptop has a stereo microphone. Yes, laptops do have stereo microphones oftentimes. Do you want people to, when you're in a voice call, do you want people to hear you from the left or from the right, depending how you move? I don't think you do. Okay, so this stays. So this is gonna be manager.engine, set the device, call to declare function set engine device. What do you mean? It's down here. Oh shit! Now I understand uh, why this guy cannot stay at the bottom. God damn it! I hate this. Well, you know what? Damn. Yeah, it has to stay here. There's just no way. I mean, or either that or we do a forward declaration, which I personally hate. I remember this being supported in Mumble. Yeah, it's. I mean, we could do it, but I think it's just kind of silly. There's no point. Okay, capture start. Grab the engine, set the device, grab the hardware format, print it. Um, don't do just enough comments. I don't need them anymore. Also, you know what? I don't even think I need this. I'm gonna keep this just a little bit more for now, but I don't think I need that. So, audio capture should go to audio capture should go to. So I think the more than audio capture start, I think we want audio capture like update, where the idea is that the nodes exist already. AV audio mixer node. Capture mixer node. Okay, so we have the engine, we have the mixer. What if instead of start, let's imagine that this is not start, but this is like update, which acts as a both start and also a change in case it was already connected. So the idea is that engine, actually, no, mixer. Oh, there's the touch node, but we want disconnect. Oh, come on. Okay, where's the? Oh, it's wait. We call connect on engine, so this is engine connect disconnect. Method disconnect not found. But what if I do this and then I do auto completion? There we go. Disconnect MIDI, disconnect node input. Mm, disconnect node input on mixer. Do you plan to set up a test harness for audio or just rely on manual testing? I noticed there's stuff like PESQ that programmatically assesses audio quality. Oh. Good question. I honestly don't know. That seems complicated. So I would say that I don't have plans in the short term. Also because I think that we're gonna touch audio to a point, and then we're gonna leave it there for a while we do all the rest of the CRUD stuff. And so then maybe I imagine that we do initial push for the audio, for the media stuff to get it in a reasonably decent position. Then we work on all the CRUD stuff. There's an endless amount of CRUD stuff in our future. So, all the moderation support, for example. So this is going to be the majority of work for a while. And then once we go back to the audio, to the media stuff and try to make it even better, maybe at that point it would make sense to have some proper media testing. Uh, but it seems complicated to do that right away. Also, if you do that, you need to also to make sure that it works for all clients. And we don't even know how this stuff looks like in other clients yet. So I think at a point we will want to also have our pool of clients to have uh, grown a little bit. Because I mean, right now we have a native client, multi-platform, cool, but we have that. We have the TUI client, which is work in progress, and right now, like today, it doesn't do much. Like it doesn't do anything. Um, Maybe we're gonna have an in progress web client, and what else? Mm, oh, sorry, we're gonna need mobile clients, right? So we're gonna need also at least I mean we're gonna need an iOS and an Android client. Maybe they can be one code base. Maybe they can't. Maybe it's still gonna be the native application. Like we still use the UI on mobile. We still are able to use the UI on mobile. Maybe we won't. Uh, in any case, I'm curious to try and attempt this in the future. But right now it seems very complicated to get working. So engine disconnect node input, then actually we could do engine disconnect. Wait, what if we did node output and we did this on the input node on engine.input on the input node? Let me read the definition. Remove a connection between two nodes. The nodes whose outputs are to be disconnected. Connections are broken on each of the nodes' output buses. Mm, this documentation is not written correctly because, I mean, I don't know. Well, okay, let's do this. This is fine. Then engine. So we disconnect the node input. Hopefully this doesn't fail in case there is nothing connected. Are you planning on moving Ziggy to Codeberg as well? It's not building with latest Zig master, but I'd hate to have to use GitHub to PR. I don't know. I currently don't have any plan for Ziggy. Like either way. I can tell you that if you want Ziggy to build with latest Zig, yeah, you need to do the work yourself. And my recommendation is to make your own fork for now. I'll 100% circle back to Ziggy, but it's not going to happen until I reach a satisfactory point in Awebo, and it's gonna be a while more. So that means that you should expect for a few months still me to not do anything with Ziggy whatsoever. Like even if you were to make the PR, I'm not gonna merge it until I'm a little bit more further ahead with Awebo. And then after that, I'll do the work, so you don't have to worry. As for moving it to Codeberg, I don't know, but I would be fine with grabbing a branch from Codeberg and then merging it myself, I guess, if there was a reason to do that. Okay. So we disconnect the node from the mixer. We set the engine device. We grab the input format. Attach node mixer. This should have already happened. Engine attach node mixer. Okay. So there's no point in attaching that. We just connect input node to mixer using its hardware format. Then here, let's do also sync. Attach node sync, connect mixer to sync, manage mono format. These also can happen statically. We never touch these. So this all can happen statically, meaning that we don't need to do this. Start and return error. No, we do not do this. Not in here. We essentially need engine start and engine stop. Also, this is capture engine stop, capture sync node, detach node. Like this is doing a lot of audio. Okay, what do we call it? Audio engine manager. Well, this can be in audio engine stop and audio engine start. And start calls this. Hello X2. Is the bug happening with all BT headphones or only some? I tried, well, I'm like had trouble. I tried with AirPods and I got different behavior. But I have a high level of confidence that my mistake was because I was trying to access the same hardware device from two audio engines. And I think I'm fairly confident that that was a major source of issues. So this might not be a full fix, but I'm pretty sure that after I'm done with this refactor, I have here AirPods so I can test them. and I think it's going to be much better. Actually, you know what? I also have some Sony Bluetooth headphones that I can try. So um, we can do some hardware tests after I'm done with this, and I think it's going to be much, much better. Okay, let's see. So engine start, engine stop, engine the init, which calls stop, and then drops the manager because it's a bridge transfer. Okay. So far, so good. Set engine device. Audio capture update. We were saying grabs all these guys. Audio mixer node start expression. Okay, what is this? AV audio sync node. Oh yeah, right. So disconnect node input mixer. No, I think this should be. All right, I got it the other way around. Perfect. Then do this. Connect the engine. Don't do start because we already done start. So all right, the start is going to be separate. And we don't return anything. I don't know. Maybe we'll return something else in the future. Return. For now, we don't. Okay, so far so good. Then audio playback start. Right. Now this becomes audio playback update. We disconnect the node input of the output node. We set it to a different device in case we have to. This audio source node, this does not happen anymore. Yeah. Also, there's a callback that we want to remove. This goes away. Oh man, this is such a big cleanup. I'm loving this. Audio playback update. Disconnect the output node. Set it to a new hardware device. Grab its. I hope that I'm using this the other way around. Maybe I don't understand if this is a connection between two nodes. The node whose inputs are to be disconnected. I hope that's how it works. I hope. Then attach node source. No. Connection, yes. Do we attach oh wait a second. What the fuck are we attaching? Source. No, that absolutely does not matter. This does not matter. Connect engine main mixer node to engine output node. Yes, this should happen. This should happen. Engine main mixer node connected to the output node using whatever format the output node likes. Perfect. Let's say updated instead of started. Although, you know what? I think even without, we're fine. Okay. So playback update is correct. Then what do we have? Playback source add. Yes. Grab the engine. Add caller. Choose the format. Create a source. Attach the node. Connect it to the main mixer node. Return the source. Okay, this one does not have to change. That is perfect. Playback source remove. I mean, we can get rid of this and just call and just the manager dot engine touch node blah blah blah. That's fine. Audio playback stop. I don't think we want this. I don't think we want this. Audio capture test. Oh wait, I nuked also another function. Yeah, okay. Audio playback stop, which is small. Get rid of it. Audio capture test start. Yeah, this one we do keep. This one we do keep. But it needs to change. So here's how we do it. We have the capture mixer. So one way of doing it would be to always keep a tap active, or to attach and detach a tap according to what we need. Also, I think I deleted some tap code that I think I need to restore. No, it's in here, right? Oh, yeah, this is the tap code. Okay, so we need to preserve this tap code because we're going to want to use it again. I think we want a always on connection between the capture mixer and the main mixer. We always keep them connected. So let me draw. I can show this stuff visually. Oh fuck, my tablet is dead. Okay, never mind. I'll draw, but with my mouse. So right now we have this. We have mic connected to a mixer. I'm gonna call this MX mixer. Connected to a mixer, which is connected to a sync node. Jesus. Oh my god. So this is one. This grabs input from the microphone, sends it to a mixer. Mixer does resampling and down mixing.